as it has already been discussed that the topic is Pakistan's state-led economic development, avenues in new public management and policy recommendations during the crisis of COVID-19, challenges and opportunities. First of all, the objectives of research. Third slide. The major theme and objective for me to work on this subject are three-dimensional. Number one, to explore the role of state-led economic development in Pakistan, because we have witnessed two or three kinds of models since the inception of Pakistan. That first we go for a mixed kind of economy in the early 60s, and then in 70s we opted for nationalization, and later we just came back to the mixed model Keynesian economy, and now we are following the post-neoliberal economy. The second most important is the importance of new public management being done and always being done through the bureaucracy, the civil administration. So after the revolution of 1970s, the new policies and the tremendous advancement in Chicago school, the new liberal economy, the same time it is being proposed that we have to just transform the way we execute our civil bureaucracy and to transform that traditional kind of bureaucratic system into a revolutionized new public management. So the second point was that, and third one, the theoretical aspects of new public management and its application in today's Pakistan. Now, the limitations of my study is very much clear that the unavailability of data of different state institutions about public policy decision-making process. I'm not talking about already done decisions and the policies which have been made, but the way the decisions are being made. Either they are using the rational actor model, bureaucratic political model, or something the organizational model, or the polyheuristic model, whatever the model is that. But I was unable to reach that point where the decisions were being made or are going to be made. And the second is the time constraints. Obviously, we know, being a research scholar, that kind of research in which you have to go through different historical perspectives and cross-sectional studies, we need excessive time. So, going forward, the theoretical framework, it is the most important and integral part of my research, that I have tried my level best to implement this concept of new public management into the contemporary Pakistani bureaucratic or a kind of transformational, you can say that things which are being adopted, especially in Musharraf era, and later on, now the PTA government is very much eager to follow all those footprints which were quite productive and positive for Pakistan. So the most important thing is that which is being revealed by Hood, that the major purpose behind new public management was to introduce new concepts of public accountability, accountabilization, removing difference between public and private sectors. There is another important concept, that evolution of the term new public management identified from the words of managerial school. Now, as a student of policy and public administration, we know that this school was in 1930s and 1920s. It was the evolutionary period of you can say that the public administration in the academia of United States of America, UK, France, Germany, and all the Western communities, which were very much concerned about the interventionist policies of politicians into the work of public administration. And it was the time when the concept of politico-administrative dichotomy was first introduced. So it's very much important. We'll move further. There is a chart, or you can say that a table, which is mostly accepted by globally all over the world, the scholars, and that chart explains that privatization accountization, devolution of power, and lots of things which were being promoted in new public management benefited the best. And the benefits are exceptionally high as compared to the traditional models. Now moving further, as it is being described in the table, that large-scale privatization, corporatization, commercialization, the process of managerialism and marketization. Now, these are the most important aspects which we need to transform our traditional and a kind of bureaucracy where we see ad hocism, a kind of bureaucracy where we see formalism, where we see despotism, where we see, you can say that, a kind of favoritism. So when you go for large-scale privatization, corporatization, commercialization, process of managerialism and marketization, it will benefit you. Second most important aspect which is being explained in the table, a shift from maintenance management to change management. This is very important concept, and which I tried my level best to project in my policy recommendations. And there are lots of things because the time is very short, so I'll move further. And the thing which I explored in my study, I had two different kind of, you can say that eras which I can evaluate in my this research paper. First one was Musharraf era, and the second one is the contemporary era of PTI government. Now, Ishrat Hussain explains some of the major economic achievements of Musharraf era which are directly relevant to the concept of new public management. That he says the major areas of successful reforms were trade and tariff, financial sector, including the privatization of nationalized commercial banks, breaking up the monopoly of Pakistan Telecommunication Corporation, and opening up the sector to private sectors and promotion of higher education, devolution to local government, and police reforms were highly significant. There are lots of things which are being done during the era of Musharraf. Hussain further says that Pakistan also adopted the same course of advancement in public administration and economic liberalization under the advice of IMF and World Bank. Now, there is a misconception among the academia as well as the general masses about the role of IMF and World Bank. Those nations which were like underdeveloped nations and they were going towards the way of development, they have adopted all the basic and important recommendations of IMF and World Bank. And IMF and World Bank do not only suggest you something, they give you a great road map and the way to implement all these things. So moving further is the PTI governments. That is the literate population. Now I'm concerned about the COVID era and the crisis which we have faced and still we are facing. The literate population of Pakistan accounts for 54.3% and remaining is illiterate and depends on non-literate jobs. Now what the PTI did, the PTI government decided to compensate this major chunk of the population with subsistence through Ehsaas program, empathy program, and lift ban on micro, small and medium enterprises and construction industry. Now what they did in Ehsaas program, they made it digitalized to give maximum benefit to the general masses or the target community, you can say that, for which the program was being designed. Now it is the concept which was being introduced in 1970s in new public management, and it is the concept which is being promoted in early Musharraf eras by IMF and World Bank. The second one, now the last one is the recommendations and the policy recommendations, because there are time constraints. What I believe is that the research work reflects threefold policy recommendations, including administrative reforms on the verge of new public management, industrial policy reforms, and mixed economic model based on Beijing Consensus. The Beijing Consensus is a China model which were being adopted by the management or the political administration in 1978. Now it is a great successful model. The country is in dire need to execute reforms in the civil administration to cope the problem of formalism, favoritism, ad hocism, and lots of things which I have already said. All the major prospects, including a shift from maintenance management to change management, decentralization, devolution, contract-based employment, budgetary controls, performance evaluation, accountization, accountability should be implemented among the civil bureaucracy to capitalize the output and make it service-oriented. Now going to the conclusion, my conclusion is very simple and very clear that to sum up the whole discussion, it can be concluded that the history of mankind has witnessed many catastrophes. But those civilizations has been recovered which transformed their political economy and administration according to the needs of the time. Thank you very much.